Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In today's video, I will show you how I painted this Mother's Day card design with watercolor florals and gold accents. So let's get started. I'm using Arch's cold press paper for this project, and I have a rectangle of 2 pieces of washi tape masking off the center area. I will list all the supplies I used in the video description. I'm starting by lightly sketching my design, but only the main shapes. I will be filling in the larger areas with my brush as I go. I just want to make sure I like the flow proportions and that the top and the bottom are balanced and the pencil lines give me a good map to follow. To begin with the watercolor, I'm using a light wash of quinacridone rose to paint in this sideways daisy type flower, and I do the same on the right. Now I made a peachy mix using yellow and rose and painting these simple round flower shapes. I rinsed my brush and I'm using some water on the pink petals to soften the edges. Now I mixed a light violet to paint this pointy petaled flower. Besides the roses, I don't know what all these flowers are called or if they're at all true-to-life colors. I'm just having fun making them up. Again, I used clean water to soften the edges, and I dropped in some darker purple inside the pink flowers to darken the middles. For this next flower shape, I'm using Indian yellow to create little popcorn-shaped blobs in a cluster like so. I'm using a dark green to create some of these leaves, and then I add a little yellow in the ends for variety. For these leaves, I'm using a lighter green and smaller shapes. Now I'm just filling in here and there around my sketched shapes, carefully avoiding where I will paint the roses. Now I'm adding some stems and dropping in some pink into the yellow flowers while they're still wet and letting it blend out. Another leafy vine behind the pink flower here. And some more leaves on the right. That light green is running right into the dark leaves and making a nice soft blending effect. A few more stem details. And now we'll turn it around to paint the other side. This is a lot like what we've just done, so I will just speed up this section until the next step. Here I'm wetting the area around the roses and up to that washi tape, and I'm going to add some green and drop in some pink dots for some filler foliage and blossoms, and that will make that rectangle under the washi tape really stand out. I do the same thing on the sides, dropping that green into the wet paper, and I carefully paint behind that yellow flower. I started forming this into leaf shapes, but then decided to make it softer. So I used my clean damp brush to lift some of the pigment off the side and create a nice soft blended edge. I also used a bit of tissue to blot up the extra paint and water. I made sure this was very dry, then I removed the washi tape. To start the rose, I make a dark little swirl shape in the middle of the flower. As I go around, I make little comma shapes, careful to keep it close and not show too much white area. As I move away from the center, the shapes get larger and lighter in color, which I do by diluting the pigment with more water. Then I go back in and add a little of the darker pigment to the inside edges of the petals. Then again, I use my clean damp brush to soften the edges. I do the same thing for the rose on the bottom. I ended up painting the petal over the leaf, and I didn't like that, so I softened some of the darkness of the green by lightly scrubbing with my brush, and then the rest was covered with some white gouache paint. I added more gouache to some of the rose petals to help them stand out even more. Then I mixed up an orangey yellow for the other roses and painted them the same way. To enhance the 3D effect, I painted some viney leaves coming down across the corners. Now I'm just adding a little detail to some of the flowers, but I want to be careful not to overwork it. Now for a little more fun and sparkle, I'm using Dr. P.H. Martin's gold ink and will apply it with a brush. I first outline the rectangle and a few strokes on the roses and some dots on the yellow flowers. Then I just add them in little clusters around the flowers. I think it really adds to the piece and gives it a little extra something special. Then using my Micron pen, I simply write Mom without any calligraphy skills to speak of, then outline it in the gold ink. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more watercolor tips and tutorials from me, then become a subscriber and see my new videos released every week. Click on one of these videos to keep learning right now. Happy painting, and I'll see you next time.